Ready? All right, what's up? We are at the first kind of stop here where we are talking about the race. The first part of the Gravel Worlds 2022 is going north. We're going north this year, which means we're getting into the hills right away.
Yep, some pretty good rollers here, which should hopefully help break things up a little bit. That's kind of our plan, to kind of spread people out. So expect some really good gravel. This is pretty much hero gravel. Should be pretty fast, but definitely some rollers.
Yep. So we're about 12 miles at this point and already nearly 1,000 feet of elevation. So we'll be hitting you with the hills right away. Probably the first 45 miles are going to be the hilliest section of the course. So not saying the rest of it won't have hills though.
Yep, definitely. So it will be dark when you start, so we need to make sure everybody is staying to the right and obeying all the traffic laws. And there's some stop signs on the course here. Yep. So make sure you're not blasting through those intersections.
Yep, there are going to be some highway crossings too. So make sure you're stopping. A couple of those also don't have great line of sight. It's your responsibility to follow the rules. So you need to slow down, stop, make sure you have full line of sight before you go through. Yeah, but it should be good. You need a light front and rear when you start the 150. Mm-hmm. So it'll start in the dark and you'll have hopefully a beautiful sunrise like we do today.
Yeah.
Cool. Next stop.
Okay. Hey everybody, we're at about mile 24 at the corner of 26 and County Road D. So you can kind of see we have a pretty good downhill here with the curve and a little bit off camber road in the curve. So one thing you want to make sure you're doing is maintaining control of your bike, especially with these speeds in the downhills. So be pretty careful. Also, it's some pretty good pea gravel as you see here. So it can be pretty easy if you're overcooking this turn to lose it on the outside line because it is off camber over there. So make sure you're maintaining control early on. You're not going to win the race here in the first 25 miles, but you can definitely lose the race by crashing out. So be careful out there, okay? Maintain control.
All right, we are just north of Loma. We just went past the Mid-South Oasis. That'll be out on course. So the Oasis for Mid-South will be just past mile 30. But we are north, the farthest north that Gravel Worlds has ever been. The farther north we get, the one thing we want to talk about is the gravel or pea gravel, I guess, situation. So you can see here, this is pretty thick. It's about 2-3 inches deep. Definitely more difficult to ride in. You'll see also if you go off to the side a little bit, there are still paths that are rideable, but it is soft. But yeah, this stuff is very fine pea gravel. Almost like sand, so it could definitely change up the race at the front end, and it will be a fun challenge for everybody else. So keep an eye out for that. If you and a lot of times with this too, it can change really quickly. So I mean, even if we went 100 feet down, it could be perfectly fine and hero type gravel, and then all of a sudden you get really deep 4 or 5 inch deep stuff. So if you see that and you're in a group, make sure you call it out so we're not causing wrecks behind you. But yeah, so this is just another gravel type we have up here. So
yeah. All right, go ahead.
All right, everybody, we're about mile 48. We're in the small town of Valparaiso. So when you come into town, it's going to be on pavement. Once you get to the Sinclair or Taverdi station, there's options there for resupply. We also hope to have a local Boy Scout troop selling supplies outside. So cash is king in small towns. Bring some cash, support the local Boy Scout troop. This helps pay for their annual kayak trip. So really hope you bring some cash and do that. Also across the way, if the Sinclair is busy, there's another, looks like a Phillips 66 gas station. You can also buy some supplies there. There is a highway here. It's a Highway 79, so make sure you're checking both ways before you cross and continue on up the hill on the more gravel. So there we go.
All right, we are at mile 54.6-ish, and we are on our first dirt road. So first MMR is what we call them, minimum maintenance road is what we call them around here. Dirt road, super fun road, one of our favorite dirt roads around here. As right now, this is totally rideable. It's dry. It actually rained a couple days ago and it's already dry. But if this dirt is wet, it is not bikeable. You'll maybe get 2 or 3 turns of your tires and it is gonna gunk up and lock everything down. So this could be a huge break in the race if at the front side. Otherwise, if this is wet, this will be hike-a-bike. So super exciting section here. just before mile 60. All right, what is up? Welcome to the Shimano checkpoint this year. Shimano is our checkpoint sponsor. We're super excited. We are out at Branched Oak Farms, just like last year. People loved it last year, so we actually have a cattle pasture that you drive through, or ride through, excuse me. If you are also in town, we gotta also mention the owner of Branched Oak Farms, who lets us use their farm. They are also the owners of Hub Cafe in downtown Lincoln. So it's right off the bike trail, super easy to get to if you're biking around Lincoln. Go give some love while you're here at Hub Cafe. They have amazing coffee and brunch type stuff. So.
Yep. So the events that'll be coming through here, well, pretty much all the events will be coming through here. Our run on Friday, our 50K on Saturday, the 75 mile on Saturday as well. The 150 will be coming through here twice, and then the 300 mile will actually be coming through here as well. So all the events will be coming through here. So that being said, as we want to try to keep the traffic away from here as much as we can. So friends, family, no visitors out here unless you're volunteering. We definitely need a lot of volunteers out here. So if you want to come out and see your participant, your rider, your runner, volunteer for us. Then you can see them. You can help out everybody during the day. So we definitely need more volunteers.
Yep.
That'd be fantastic.
Absolutely. So rules of the checkpoint. The biggest rule, he kind of already mentioned it. There's no team vehicles, no family vehicles. And for major races, we're a little bit different, that the checkpoints are still neutral. There's no, once you leave Shillingbridge at the start, every single person has the exact same experience. So everybody gets the same checkpoint. Everybody has the same resources as everybody else from first to last place. So yeah, like you mentioned, no team vehicles, no family or friends out here at the checkpoint. If you want to be out here at the checkpoint, we want you out here as well, but you need to volunteer. So sign up on our website to volunteer. We'll probably have 40 or 50 volunteers out here throughout the day helping out, helping fill bottles and all that stuff. So that's the first big rule, no team vehicles out here. Second rule is no racing inside the checkpoint. Once you leave the gravel road, it's neutral. So we don't want people blasting through here going 30 miles an hour. Like he said, every single distance goes through here, so depending on what time you get here, it could be pretty crazy. And that's okay. It's designed like that. It's a huge community building. It's super exciting for the people doing the 50K to see the people doing the 150, seeing the pros and come in. So it's really special for our event, but please respect that. No racing once you're off the roads. The other one is you are required to go through the checkpoint, but you are not required to stop. There was a little bit of confusion on that in previous years. If you want to carry 150 pounds worth of water and nutrition, obviously that weight is a penalty on you at the beginning. If you want to take that risk as a game plan, that's on you. You can totally do that. You are not required to stop, but you are required to go through. Be respectful to volunteers. Rule number 1, don't be lame. If we catch you yelling at volunteers because they're not filling up a bottle as fast as you would like them to, you're done. You're disqualified, and there's a solid chance you're not going to be invited back ever again. So please be respectful to our volunteers. They're sacrificing, their weekend to make an experience for you. Zero tolerance on being disrespectful to volunteers. So
Yep.
I think that covers most of the rules out here.
Yep, and we do have split times out here, so we're going to have some timing here. That's why you have to come through. It's required by everybody. Yep. So as far as what do we have out here, first thing is we have plenty of water. The water is going to be filtered water from Branched Oak Farms. The well's great here. So this year we have 2 large, what they're called water monsters, 150-gallon tanks that are pretty much gravity fed, so you're going to have plenty of pressure. I think we'll have 32 spigots set up for those. So you can fill them up yourself, or we'll probably have some volunteers helping fill those up. So once you get filled up, please move away from those water monsters and move along. We'll have plenty other supplies out here as well.
Yep, so another reason to volunteer out here is it's going to be a party out here and for everybody else. So Shimano is hooking us up with a huge tent while we're out here, so there's going to be some extra shade. So thank you so much to Shimano for that. Shimano and CycleWorks are also going to have wrenches out here. Guys wrenching on bikes, so if you need neutral mechanical support, they'll be out here. So thank you so much to Shimano and CycleWorks for that. Certified Piedmontese is back with their all beef Nebraska grass-fed beef hot dogs. We added that last year. I think that was our #1 thing that people loved. So hot dogs are back. This year, M Grill out of Beatrice is going to be grilling all those up. So if you want an American-made grill, M Grill's another option too. So we have a lot of cool sponsors out here that are helping build this up, that are making it awesome. We'll have a photo booth back again. We'll have food trucks, plenty of nutrition as well. So we have nutrition options from Goo, Salt Stick, Gnarly, Bonk Breakers, and if I'm missing one, I'm very, very sorry. But so we'll have lots of nutrition options. We'll have Coke, ice, fruit, all that stuff. So we'll have plenty of food options for you while you're out here too.
Yep. Also, there'll be some medical support here as well if you need that. And we'll also have porta potties here. So if you need to use the bathroom, you can do that here as an option for you too.
Yep. So last thing we want to say is please be respectful of the property out here. This is private property. It's someone's farm. They live out here. So during the year, please do not come out here. Even the week of Gravel Worlds, if you're trying to recon, this isn't the place to recon. Everybody's going to have the same neutral experience while they're here. Please don't come through here. The only days we should be out here at the farm are Friday, August 19th and Saturday, August 20th. So, and then all those rules, everything applies for both times you go through the 150. So the first time you go through the 150, you'll be from the north, and the second time will be from the south.
Yep. So we're excited to have you out here at the Shimano checkpoint. It's a beautiful little area here, nice little prairie, nice overlook of the countryside. So it's going to be a great time.
Yep. All right, on to the next one.
Yep. Got cyclists down there.
I saw that.
Hey everybody, we are on a dirt road. This will be the second dirt road of the event thus far. It's about mile 73, a little less than a mile stretch of dirt. So as a reminder, you need to stay on the roadway even if it's wet. We don't want you walking out in a field or in someone else's corn, so stay on the roadway. There is a little bit of a grass track in the middle. That may help a little bit there if it's wet. Also on this roadway, there is a bridge. Small bridge, but the gaps on the slats are very, very narrow. You should be fine on any bike. And also another reminder, there can be some ruts on the dirt roads, so please be careful and watch out for any of those. Up ahead, shortly here, we're going to have an oasis we'll be stopping at next. Hey everybody, we're at mile 97 of the 150 mile. And this is the start of the Randy Gibson Climbers, sponsored by Piedmontese. And we're doing things a little bit differently this year. In the past, we've always done the first up the climb. This year, we're going to do the fastest. So we're going to do the fastest male, female, and non-binary gender expansive. And the way we're going to do that is by looking at the tag on your bib. So it will actually be a timed segment. And in order to time that, we need to make sure that your bib is not wrapped around your head tube and needs to read accurately. So please do not wrap your tag, your bib around your head tube. All right. This actually includes 3 hills, and it's going to be up this climb behind me here, and it goes 1.8 miles, makes a turn to the east, 2 more hills there, and it's going to be a total of about 240 feet of elevation gain. Now, in order to qualify for this, you need to finish by 7 p.m. If you finish by 7 p.m. and you're the fastest up the climb, you're going to don that Randy Gibson Climbers jersey. So we're pretty excited about this. Thank you to Piedmontese for sponsoring this segment. All right, folks, we're out on the course. We're a little over 100 miles, probably with like around 40 to 50 miles left in the 150 mile route. And there's going to be an optional oasis location. It's going to be just off of the route. The route goes right up this road here, 98. But just a little bit further down Pioneers is the Rhinecourt Farm. We've used this farm for a number of years for an optional oasis. It's great. You don't have to stop, but if you do, they're gonna have water, snacks, and some other things for you. So it's up to you if you want to stop, plan accordingly, but if you want to, it's there for you. Hey everybody, we're in Malcolm right now, next to the Malcolm General Store, a iconic stop for Gravel Worlds. So you have to go through town as part of the route. You can't cut straight through onto the highway. You have to go right by here, the general store. You can stop here if you want, it's optional, so plan your nutrition accordingly. After this, you probably have anywhere from 30 to 35 miles left to the finish line. So stop if you like, we highly encourage it. This is actually one of their best days, if not the best day of the year for them. So go in there, spend some money, help support the small town stores.
All right, we are on essentially the last dirt road. It's not the last dirt section, but it's the last dirt road. We're about 7 miles from the finish. This is at the north side, it's 33rd Road. It kind of cuts diagonally and comes out at 29th. But you'll see that, again, about 7 miles from the finish. Again, similar to our other dirt roads, if this is wet, this is going to be hike-a-bike. There is some grass on the side here and parts of the center that may be rideable. It's hard to know depending on how wet it is. The biggest thing we need to reiterate, you cannot walk through the cornfields on either side. Down here, there's a part where you could walk potentially. You need to stay in the roadway. It is absolutely against the rules to be walking in people's fields. That is how our race gets shut down. If you see somebody do that, call them out. Say that that's lame. Tell them that they can't be walking through people's fields. So we need to be self-accountable on that one. Please stay out of people's fields if it's muddy. There's essentially only 3.5 miles of dirt or mud this year, so we're really low on the dirt/mud side. But those 3.5 miles will be hike-a-bike if it's wet. So we tried to keep them down, but still have the challenge there. So if this is wet, this could be another deciding factor in the race. There shouldn't be anything too technical on it, but you do need to also keep an eye out on these dirt roads. If it was wet previously, a truck or something could have drove through here, or farm equipment could have tore these up pretty bad, where you can get some big tire ruts. So just be careful with that, especially if you're in a group. We've seen accidents happen if you're in a group not paying attention and you hit a big old tire track rut. So the next stop is going to be the very last little bit of dirt and the last section leading to pavement. We'll see you soon. All right, what's up? We are on the last bit of gravel. We're almost back. We're right here. We just have about a half mile of dirt right behind me here. Especially if you're going for the win, please practice this finish. Know how the finish ends. There is a roadside behind me that says 12th and Alvo, but this kind of turns onto private property here, and a lot of people miss this last turn going into a kind of single track dirt road. It's not even a real road, it's private property that we ride through. Especially if it's muddy, this could be a running section right at the end that makes or breaks the race. This could be the deciding factor, especially if it's wet. It is a little technical. If you're not going for the win, just be safe. The last technical part is when you hop onto pavement. You're done with gravel. Right at the end of this section, there is a curb drop. So make sure that you know how to do that, especially if you're a group. Just know what's going on. Please be safe. We don't want to kill somebody in the last mile of the race. So please be safe. Practice the finish. Know how it's going to go. And then just know where this finish line is. And you're home. Next stop, Shilling Bridge, and party time. All right, so we are just closing thoughts here, sitting on the tailgate, just a little bit of chatting. We just finished driving the whole course, the 150 course. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be an incredible, hilly, but very beautiful course. We're very excited to share this with you. Some highlights of the course?
Yeah, I mean, so a couple of cool things. This is farther north than we've ever gone before, so which, if those of you that are from around here know, a lot of the bigger hills are up on the north side of Lincoln. We call them the Bohemian Alps. Why do we call them the Bohemian Alps?
A lot of Bohemian people in the area, I guess.
Yep. There's a huge Bohemian immigration around that area, so we call them the Bohemian Alps. You'll also see a lot of like Czech type references in small towns and stuff, so that's kind of where that comes from. Some other highlights, it's going to be, the first half of the course is going to be hillier than the second half, but similar to every year that you're here, it's hilly pretty much the whole time. Nebraska is not flat.
Yep, we hit a lot of the old favorites, and we've actually incorporated some new roads, like Jason's saying. We go a little bit further north, so a lot of really good rollers, as you expect. The terrain is really good, a lot of hero gravel, but there will be some white rock occasionally, some deep pea gravel occasionally you got to be careful about, and also some dirt.
Yep. So this year there's not a whole lot of dirt comparative to other years. Normally it's we're around 5%. This year we're substantially less than that. We only have maybe 3.5 miles or so of dirt on the whole course. So it wouldn't be as much of a factor, but if it's a wet year, it's about time we have a wet year. It's been several years that we've had rain that really affects the race. So if this is a wet year, those mud roads will be hike a bike or run a bike if you're at the front of the race, and that could be a huge factor too. So.
Yep, definitely can. And the last dirt road is going to be within 10 miles of the finish.
Yep.
So, and we have that small little section of dirt really close to Fallbrook right when you drop on in.
Yep.
So if it's wet, definitely make sure you know where those roads are at, strategize, and be smart about it.
Yep. The other thing that's new for this year is the Randy Gibson Climber segment, rather than just a point on the road that's the first person there. So we obviously talked about it earlier, but in past years when we added the Randy Gibson Climber jersey, it was just the first person that was there. So it was kind of it's always been the person that won has gotten the climber's jersey. We added timing mats this year, so it's actually a 1.8 mile segment that will be timed through our timing. It'll also give you a split on your results at the end, so everybody will have that timing result. It's very critical that if you're going for that win, that you have your number plate correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just wrapping your number plate around your head tube or modifying it anyway, bending it will modify that piece of metal in there and the chip, and it will not record. So make sure that you're not doing that. Make sure you just have it in the front of your bike and it's separated, not up against your head tube. It
is in the rules, and if it affects the results of the Randy Gibson, because you wrapped your number plate, that's on you. So we won't have the ability to calculate everybody's time out there. So if you wrap that, first of all, it's against the rules, so don't do it. And two, it just creates a massive headache at the finish as well for our timing people. If everybody doesn't wrap it, nobody has an advantage or disadvantage, and I promise that's not going to be the reason you win or lose Gravel Worlds. So don't wrap it. We'll have instructions on how to do it. Please do not wrap them on your head tube. The RFID code in there, the chip, does not work if you wrap it. So please do that. But if you finish by 7 p.m., whoever's the fastest of that segment wins the Randy Gibson Climber jersey. So there could be some really interesting strategy on that.
It's going to be fun, and that really helps reward not necessarily the first people going through, obviously, but just the folks who ride it the fastest, the best climbers, the quickest up there. And Randy Gibson was an amazing climber. Yep. So I think this is a great way to honor him. So it's going to be the fastest male, female, and non-binary gender expansive athletes. So looking forward to it.
Yeah. What can we expect for weather? We always get weather questions.
Well, it is August in Nebraska, so it's going to be potentially pretty hot. On average, it's probably going to be mid-80s to low 90s. Yep. It may be pretty humid that time of year. So it also can be, stormy too. We've had a cool year last year. On Friday, it was really hot. Then we had a cold front that came through that night and ended up being a really pleasant day for the most part. I think
it was 60 degrees in the morning and high of 80, but we've had years that are well over 100 degrees heat index. So overall, be prepared for heat, practice in the heat, train in the heat if you can. And then, like you said, it's probably going to be humid as well. So if you see all these cornfields around here, when you get here in August, those cornfields corn's over 10 foot high. Each acre of corn can sweat over 1,000 gallons of water into the air a day. So that's where we get a lot of our humidity. But yeah, so just be ready for the humidity as well.
Yeah, definitely plan your nutrition and your hydration appropriately for the ambient conditions. Yep. And we have good tips on our website too. You can take a look at that on how to plan for that. And thanks to all our sponsors that help out throughout the course, with our checkpoint, even our Randy Gibson segment. We really appreciate all our sponsor support this year. Yep.
So our sponsors do so much to help keep the costs as much down as we can for the everyday people. Allow us to donate more money to the charities that we love to donate money to. So thank you so much to them. Please support them as well. So yeah, thank you so much to them. And we also want to give a massive shout out to the 1,000 women that are coming to Gravel Worlds. No matter where you're coming from, I know it can be scary for anybody coming into town, but I promise you're not going to be alone the week of Gravel Worlds. So overall, we have 48 states and 17 countries now that are coming to Gravel Worlds right here in Lincoln. It's an honor for us to get to be a part of it. It's an honor to get to be a part of the 1,000 Women story. That's monumental, and we recognize that, and we also just want to thank every single person that helped make this happen. We opened the door, which is important, but it could not have been done without each and every single one of you.
Yeah, it's been a team effort, a community effort. Everyone stepped up, so we're really excited to have everybody here in town, and we can't wait until August.
Yeah. If you have any questions, we do have a pretty extensive frequently asked questions page on our website. Please go check that out before you send us messages. Not that we don't love talking to you, it's just we try really hard so that you don't have to email us and take our team's resources as we lead into Gravel Worlds. It's, you know, we just don't have all the time in the world to do that. So please go to the FAQ page first, and then we are going to keep registration open until August 1st, depending on when this video comes out. Not sure when it will, but yeah, go ahead and get those changes made as well.
Yep. Any other final thoughts?
We're really excited.
Yep.
Our team's really excited. So from us two, from Sophia, Jamie, and Craig, we're beyond thankful to get to be a part of this. Dallas as well, Dallas Schilling at the Schilling Bridge crew. Thank you. We cannot tell you thank you enough. It's such an honor to get to be a part of this gravel family. I know we say that a lot, but this is the family that we get to choose, right? And so we love you. Come here and just make gravel a better place. Encourage the people that need encouraging. Help people if they need help. It's way more than handing out a sword and a trophy at the end. This is a community experience that goes far beyond Lincoln.
For sure. Yeah, it's changing lives for the better, and I'm definitely excited to see everybody here in Lincoln in August.
Yep. All right, I think that's all we have for now. I'm sure there'll be more stories moving forward. We can't wait to see what comes out of Gravel Worlds 2022. We love you. We'll see you here soon.
Later.